Good evening. We'll open the IMU Board of Trustees of the Electric, Water, and Communication Utilities. Chelsea.
Selgrave.
Present.
White.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
Rosga.
Yes.
Boyd.
Yes.
Okay. For anyone that might have public comment wishing to speak should come to the lectern, but I believe we don't have anybody that's going to speak right now. So I need a first and second motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Okay, and tonight we have approval of claims and minutes. Any questions or anything for any? Okay. Chelsea.
White.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Rosga.
Yes.
Boyd.
Yes.
Selgrave.
Yes.
Okay, next we'll move on to the electric utility informational items. Mike.
Yeah, it's full go for us right now. Everybody thinks it's gonna get cold. So,
Thanks.
yeah. So, yeah, we're just really trying to finish things up on the square with concrete and then Hillcrest. Their plan is to open that up, I think, late tomorrow afternoon. So we're finishing up the lighting on it. But yeah, it's just go time right now. Finish things up.
So you can hibernate.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. It'll probably put an end to a lot of the boring and things like that, but we'll still see if we can keep trenching on some of the development projects and keep things going. We'll go till we can go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be there next spring.
Doesn't go anywhere, right?
That's right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to water utility action items. I need a first and second motion to consider resolution of termination and amendment of 28E agreement with Central Iowa Regional Drinking Water Commission. Chris, you want to take that one? Or?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Second.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, Chris.
This is a 2080 agreement that IMU had entered some years ago. The last meeting, or really last activity, it was in 2017. And so this is really just wrapping things up and distributing out the remaining funds. So this commission is no longer.
What was the intent of the commission?
From what I gathered out of it when I was talking with the lady from Des Moines, was kind of just different water utilities to collaborate about the water industry, and it just kind of started to fizzle out there in 2017, so
They're just cleaning up paperwork then?
Yep, yeah, and especially since they started that Central Iowa Waterworks now, so the bigger utilities are in that, so it's just, cleaning up the...
And we participate in that, in the new one?
No, that's just for the customers that organization serves. So it's like your Des Moines, your West Des Moines, and those different metros there.
Yeah, the metro's kind of become a regional water authority, and they're handling it on that level instead of, a wider version.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Chelsea?
Smith.
Yes.
Rosga.
Yes.
Boyd.
Yes.
Selgrave.
Yep.
White.
Yes. Okay, Justin, water utility informational items, please.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot. Basically just business as normal. We do have 2 concrete pour backs that we will get to next week before it gets super cold and gets hard to do. Other than that, we're just business as normal. I did get the UCMR results back for PFAS. We didn't have any detectables again, so that's huge for us. So.
Good news.
Okay.
We had a couple water main breaks last couple weeks.
Yes.
All good, no issues, everything went well.
Yeah, everything went good. Just those are the concrete pour backs that we have to get to. So just trying to deal with vacations and obviously the holiday coming up. We're been short staffed, so but that's our focus next week to get those 2 back. And
Move on to communication. communications utility informational items. Kurt?
Yep, I'm pretty light too. We're kind of business as normal as well, and yeah, just keeping an eye on the weather. We're still getting drops on the ground, so that's good, but we'll see how much longer that lasts. But other than that, I haven't gotten a report back on the NOFA 7 South project here for a little bit. Dallas is coming down tomorrow to meet with them, but they were making pretty good progress. They were talking about getting the fiber guys in to pull fiber last week. I don't think they've made it, but if they're talking about getting those guys in, they've just got most of the conduit in the ground, so still hopeful we can get all that done before snow flies, so.
Okay, good. Okay, combined electric, water, and communication action items. I need a first and second motion for resolution approving health insurance premium holiday.
So moved.
Second.
Chris?
This is the premium holiday, as we've done from time to time in the past. The city passed this at their last meeting, and we're passing that holiday premium for both the departments and employees for the month of December.
Okay.
Refresh my memory, that costs approximately how much again? Like 40 or?
It's about 38,000 for IMU and
Okay.
about 110 for both of, yeah.
Correct. I had a 40,000 figure in my head.
Chelsea. Roscoe.
Yes.
Voigt.
Yes.
Celebrate.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll move on to the presentation of the FY24 financial audit. Robert?
Good evening.
Chris, did you want
Hello.
to?
Yeah, I'll start it
Just
off.
wanna let him go.
Yeah, just, we got our audit back. This year went well from the IMU perspective. And, obviously a clean report, but I don't want to steal the thunder. I'll hand it over to Robert, and you can kind of feel free to ask any questions you might have.
Okay.
I think Chris hit the high notes there, but I'll go through mine all the same. I think you all know me, but Robert Endress, a partner with Denman CPAs. We were on site in, I think, middle of August, going through audit field work. And we do have that audit report to share with you this evening. It's a good 60-page document. Hope you had a chance to rifle through it a little bit, but to make it a little easier, we'll use a PowerPoint here. We'll go over that independent auditor's report. We'll look at some summarized financials here, talk a little bit about controls, and then I have a brief letter regarding communications with you as governance. Beginning with that independent auditor's report, which I believe starts on about page 4 of the audited financial statements. Just a reminder that those financial statements are management's. Management is responsible for ensuring that those financials are complete and accurate, that they conform with accounting standards, that controls are in place to support the accuracy of management's financial statements. Our responsibility as your auditors is to perform an audit and to express an opinion on whether or not management's financial statements are indeed accurate. So we go through a host of audit procedures, and there's kind of a royal annoyance for most of the staff here for about a week and a half, so that we can get that evidence, so that we can express that opinion. And we are issuing clean or unmodified opinions on the financial statements. That is the highest level of assurance our profession provides regarding the accuracy of that information. Just a quick snapshot on the financial statement. So here is a summary of the statement of net position, the balance sheet for the utilities as of June 30, 2024. You have the prior year there as a kind of a reference point. Cash and investments, those liquid resources, up about 1.5 million over the prior period. So we are seeing that growth in liquid resources. Capital assets, net of accumulated depreciation, also up about $1 million, so $52 million in net capital assets at the end of the fiscal year. That growth is primarily the pellet project. Other assets there, mostly receivables, but a couple other things also, a little bit of growth. So total assets, $85 million compared to $81 million the prior year. Total liabilities of the utilities at the end of the fiscal year, $21.2 million. Most of that's long-term debt. Leaving you with net position, equity, totaling $63.7 million, up about 4.1 from the prior period. Most of that, bear in mind, is your net investments in capital assets. So it's not liquid, not available for use. It's the net investment you have in the infrastructure. But about $23.5 million of it is unrestricted, available resources, relatively liquid, that can be used to maximize your program and your missions. Really short, brief look at the income statement, the statement of revenues and changes in that position. Total operating revenues, $25.2 million, down a little bit from the prior year, about $500,000. The electric utility had the brunt of that reduction in revenue. Operating expenses are also right around $22 million, up a bit from the prior period, but not a ton. You do have a positive net operating income, about 3 million. Again, that's down from the prior year, which was just flirting with 5 million. But still a very strong operating net income. And total change after factoring non-operating activity, mostly interest, to the good of about 4 million.
Robert, this is probably a very minor issue based on the dollar amount, but there were capital contributions in both the electric and water utility.
Yes.
What are those?
Those would be developers.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the case of electric, of course, puts in the infrastructure, but the developer reimburses IMU, and then water, the developer's putting that in.
Got it, thank you.
So change in net position 4.1 to the good, a very strong number. Bear in mind that as a utility, as a growing community, you should be having increases in net position. So that is very much to be expected. Quick snapshot here of those operating net incomes, just kind of give you a different perspective on it. Of course, the electric is by far and away the largest of the three utilities, but all three major utilities, even the joint utility, that kind of administrative fund, all in the black this past fiscal year. There are a good 15-20 pages of note disclosures, which just provide a little bit more depth and context to the financials. Just two I wanted to highlight here briefly. Just as a reminder, utilities does have about $18 million in long-term debt through general obligation bond and several revenue bonds, totaling, again, $18 million payable through the year 2037. And then that fiber utility is still in a deficit position. It is getting much better. It is working very hard at getting back into the black, and it will be at this pace in 2 years, which, if I'm not mistaken, is well above the original timeline for that. So it is moving along just fine as well. Quickly here on our internal control and compliance, along with issuing that audit opinion on the financial statements, we also have some responsibilities to gain an understanding of the utilities controls and to test compliance that the state requires us to look at as well. So as we do that, if we identify deficiencies in your control processes, we have a responsibility then to elevate those to you as members of governance. I'm happy to say we did not identify any instances of in-control deficiencies or weaknesses in this year's audit. The only compliance item we do have that we noted is that deficit fund balance, which of course we already knew about. And was very strategic and part of the development of that utility. So in other words, we couldn't have gotten to a cleaner audit opinion than we would have anticipated going into the audit with these results. Finally, my last slide here, along with the audit report, we do have what we call a governance letter, which is our opportunity to speak to you as directly as members of governance about items that we felt warrant your attention. This is our opportunity to really address instances of concerns or matters that really drive our audit work. I'm happy to say you can see all those no's over there. That tells you I really don't have anything exciting to talk about. Audit field work is exciting. No one likes exciting audits. Good audits are boring audits, and this has been a very boring audit. As Chris mentioned, field work went very well. We thought the same thing from our side of things, very smoothly. And staff have always been fantastic to work with, so I do want to thank Chris and the rest of the utility team, because we aren't easy on them. They're very, very accommodating to us and our team to make sure we get what we need. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
I did notice on the list of board members, you had me still listed as the chair, but Deb's been listed, she's been the chair since January, so I didn't know how your period covered, if we were in midstream.
In theory, you should have both. It would have you through January and then Deb through June.
So that was the only thing I caught.
Thank you.
Really good job, Chris and Chris.
Yeah.
That's outstanding results.
Yeah, just again, I mean, from my perspective, fiber team is doing a lot of great work. I think the original break even was 2034, so I mean, now the fact that we're going to be doing that, 2 more years, 3 more years, that's a lot of that belongs to this guy right here and the rest of his team. Getting those installs in, getting those revenues up, beating all those expectations.
But no pressure.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay, we'll move on to combined electric, water, and communications informational items. Chris?
All right, at the IMU level, we're working hard on capital stuff, and we're still expecting to present that at our 12/16 meeting. And as a reminder, we're going off cycle for our one meeting this month, or next month, excuse me. Had a couple meetings since we last met. The financial outlook that has been improving is looking better. A lot of the discussion there was natural gas prices are looking down, and there is a strong correlation between natural gas prices and electric costs and futures. So throughout the winter, we're expecting a little lower than anticipated cost to mean, and that of course will be passed along commensurate to IMU. The small negative to that is with energy prices a little lower, the excess electricity that we sell, that mean sells, excuse me, on the market, there's probably a little less profit involved in that. Just given everything's down a little bit. The other kind of big discussion, we discussed it at length, but it really didn't affect us, was tariffs. I think there was a lot of concern about President Trump talking his financial policy surrounding a lot of tariffs and what that might mean. So just for the public, on our solar project, the solar project is the most likely to be affected by those. There's a lot of solar components that get manufactured overseas, and those might get swept up in this. We don't have any necessarily concern about that because all of our equipment has been purchased, and it is sitting in a warehouse in Des Moines. So no matter what happens there, our project will go forward. So that's the good news. But the next version of that project might be more expensive, I guess.
There were replacement parts or something of that nature.
Yeah, ours, of course, through the various grants, the USDA grants, there was a lot of U.S. sourced materials. So ours will always have to come that way from repair or replacements, and so they won't be subject to tariffs. But given the market prices go up, they'll probably be a little more expensive. But again, that's not something that all the maintenance obligations fall on Sandhills Energy. So if those double, triple, quadruple, it won't affect our ratepayers. So another bonus out of this structure is any unexpected swings are going to be absorbed by them.
Do you know what the status of Sandhills is with purchasing the actual panels and other stuff that they're buying? Like, do they have that bought, or what's the
Yeah. All of our stuff, the
not
panels,
just IMU stuff, but what Sandhills is supplying to?
What do you mean
Well, they're actually the ones that are supplying the actual solar panels, right?
Yes. Everything for our project
Okay.
is sitting in a warehouse.
You're saying it's in Des Moines, and that's not just what IMU is buying. That includes what Sandhills is
Correct.
supplying to.
Yeah. Our contribution is the transformers, and we've had those for a while. So we've been good for a while, and everything that Sandhills is installing has already been purchased and is. They're waiting on go for construction crews and stuff. It's sitting in a warehouse in Des Moines.
When's that go supposed to be, do you know? Getting cold.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, they'll of course, they're gonna drop off the job site trailer, probably not this week at this point, but, I'm guessing the next. They'll want some electric, and then once they have that going, they'll actually start the pilings, and installation until the ground's frozen.
How will they come into the water plant? That was a big question with the whole K Street paving. Will they go out on 65, 69, go over? Or will they come out?
They're just beyond the couple delivery trucks. It'll mostly just be employees and pickup trucks. We have a farm entrance on the south side of our kind of main concrete entrance where you typically go in the plant. They'll enter the construction
But they'll
down
use
at that part of it.
They'll transport down K.
Yep.
We just may want to keep an eye on that. I know I had some complaints and concerns about us taking heavy equipment down there. And I tried to convince them it wasn't heavy equipment, but if it should be, we may wanna ask them to reroute.
Yeah, none of these are, the bulk of the traffic will be pickup trucks, consumer pickup trucks. There'll be some light delivery, light being medium duty, not full, couple of semi loads, but it's not gonna be anything excessive or over any of those DOT limits.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
As far as our planning with the city, I know with all the changes going on, I don't know how their planning is going, could be impacted. Have you met the new deputy, what's his title?
Deputy city manager, I think.
Yeah, I have not yet. He starts, I think, December 12th.
Okay, I didn't know if when he was in town, if he got to meet any.
Yeah, no, I didn't meet him for that. Like I said, we have been coordinating with AP, and I think that's probably the best source of information we have right now. Getting that, getting that information, those plans that are there. Nothing at this point seems like it's going to be problems. I think all of the coordination is gonna be with Justin the water, and I think we've got that taken care of. Unless they throw in couple of surprise projects, but for right now, everything we anticipate will work well for us.
So we do have a meeting set up, I think December 2nd,
Next week.
with department heads and city staff to go over their capital projects. Yep.
Okay. And so is the square plan to be complete next year? I can't remember what this,
The city side is done
okay.
for the most part.
But ours is-
We still have the northeast and southeast side, so it will be fully there all next year at least.
Okay.
Mike, my recollection is our last meeting, you were just going to start testing turbine. And did that go and?
They're still working on some emissions stuff
Okay.
with that to be ready, but we did go ahead and schedule as of right now, I believe it's December 18th. We're scheduled to have the DNRs come in and do final testing with them, so that's the plan right now.
Okay.
I'm just working through the details and all amounts of paperwork to go through to get that done. Yep.
Okay. Other business? Anybody? Okay, I will take a first and second motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You too.